Let's talk to Sam from Dallas, Texas. KWRD is the station. Hi, Sam.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks.
What's going on in your life today?
Well, I'm 53 and have been divorced 2.5 years.
Okay.
And I haven't dated anybody, and reconciliation's over now because she got married.
Okay.
And no kids. I'm an educated professional, and the lady that was the screener said, how do you know when a date is a mate? So I guess that's the question.
That's what
I've listened to you guys before, and you said go out on 20 dates. I signed up for eHarmony and have been on 3.
How'd they go?
Women on there, and I think really I could make it with all of them. But the Lord led me to one lady, and now she doesn't really respond. So
okay, so move on.
I just don't want to make mistakes.
Yeah, you just have to move on, and
both people have to be feeling it.
Yeah, right. Well, you're on a journey that I went on when taking this 20-date approach before you would settle on one person and settle down to one person. And I think you should just continue that. And, I think if you want, some people say, well, you'll just know. And I don't think you'll just know. I think that's a really poor way to decide that, I just know. I think there are a lot of reasons you could feel really good. As I've said before, you might be in such bad shape, you're upgrading to dirt, and you feel good about it, but it's just dirt, So I think do you have some guy friends?
Yes.
Well, if you do, I think one way you know that she's the right one is that when you do things and they're around, they're saying to you, man, you guys make a great couple. You guys, she really seems to enjoy you. She seems to be a healthy person. That's one thing. You want to give him, we'll just go around the room here. What else? How else would you know it's the right person?
I would want to know how much awareness they have of their own journey.
Yeah.
So at 53, the people you're dating, odds are a lot of them will have been through a relationship or two. And Sam, how aware are you, and you don't have to answer the question, but how aware are you of why your marriage deteriorated and why it fell apart? And I would want to take that into my next relationship and say, I was weak in this zone. I was not strong in these ways. My wife left me because I was unable to. And I would see what a person does with that, whether they can receive it, hear it, and if they have any reciprocity to be able to tell me back their journey, their story. Jill, you say all the time, relational problems are co-created.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And we bounce off of each other, and then we create our own dance that's slightly different than we would have with somebody else, even if there's similarities. But Sam, you said that you felt like you could make it with a lot of people. And so I think this idea, Mylan, of him really exploring what went wrong and knowing yourself, and that is part of the process of dating. So good for you for jumping in there. And now it's taking it a step at a time and getting exposure to different kinds of women and then saying, okay, how do I feel with these women? Because it's not just about do they like you, but do you like them? And developing some opinions about that. Because especially if you're more of a people pleaser, yes, you probably could make it with a lot of people. But there might be some that would be better than others.
And you may want to make this bold move that some people do, the one that you were kind of feeling attraction to, that you feel the Lord led you to, and then she pulled away. You might do that one last email. Hey, it's really obvious that you didn't think we would go forward. Could you help me and just tell me a couple of things
Great idea.
that lead you to think this isn't going to work out?
Good. That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Let me send
And
you.
Jill, now, Jill is single, right?
Yes, she is. But she's 70, so it's not going to work.
Jill,
It's in my age range on eHarmony.
Could be 7.
Yeah.
All right.
Jill,
Anyway.
Jill's single, she's cute, and she's got 2 bodyguards next to her right now.
Yeah, that's right. You have to go through us, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back for more of New Life Live. Mylan, you have a thought that you wanted to share with him, a concern. Sam, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Mylan was really has one concern he wants to share with you.
Well, Sam, you said, look, I went on 3 dates, and I think I could be okay with all 3 of them. Is that what you said?
Well, actually, I met 5 5 women on eHarmony, and I think
Yes.
I would be okay with them. I've been on 3 dates, so yeah. And actually, I probably would be okay. Now, I really felt with one lady in particular that the Lord really led me not to be involved with her.
Okay, well, here's my comment. To deduce or conclude so quickly that I could be okay with 2 or 3 of these people is too quick of an assessment. It tells me you're not seeing people at a more in-depth level. You're just looking at the surface. It would suggest to me you might be looking at the surface levels. Are you attractive to me? Do we get along? And do you know the Lord? And maybe you're just asking a few basic questions. Emotional healthiness, emotional maturity, as opposed to emotional reactivity and immaturity, is one of the biggest things you want to find out. Because somehow that was a part of the reason your marriage fell apart in the first place on one or both of your parts. So always look deeper, look long, plan to date for a season of time, 1 to 2 years. I think you can only find out if a person's a safe person after probably a couple of years. And you need to spend the time really getting to know someone before you tie that knot.
Right. So that assessment really says, I could go out on a second date with this person.
Yeah.
That's all
Instead
it should
of-
say.
yeah, that's all it
shouldn't
should
be,
say.
I could settle down with this. It's just,
Yeah.
I could
okay,
go on a second
this
date.
person qualifies for date number 2.
That's all it means.
Yeah. What do you think, Sam?
I think that's good advice. That's very true. There was, the emotional maturity part, I think, was a big part of it. All things of the world came to that marriage dissolving, and then real God has just changed me and done miraculous things in my
That's great.
life since then.
Stay the
It's
course,
just,
my friend.
in the time, it's hard to trust because you want to advance on. You're lonely. You want to move on,
Sure.
and it's hard to trust.
Hey, let me send you Avoiding Mr. Wrong. Why? Well, we don't have the female version of that, but I think you might find yourself in there, and if you do, then it'll show you how to work on yourself. But also, each one of these Mr. Wrongs has a Miss Wrong on the other side of it, going through some similar things, and I hope that'll help you.